Did you know that each month there are over 30 million searches for cats on the internet? And tonight we'll be taking a look at some of the very best clips of our furry purry friends. From fearless felines to scaredy cats. We've got talking toms and kittens with attitude. The richest cat in the world, and even piano-playing pussies. Along the way, we'll be finding out the stories behind some of the most popular clips in the history of the web. And we'll discover why we're totally besotted with cats making us laugh out loud. The domestic cat, or Felix catus for all you Latin fans, is well known for being a brave and fearless creature. But sometimes they bite off more than they can chew. Now, you probably know that the average cat can jump 5 times its own height and 7 times its own length. So surely this moggy will make the simple leap from the top of a snowy car onto the garage roof, right? Nah. And here's another daredevil cat using its natural and graceful ability to leap great distances. Until gravity gets in the way.
I think cats, when they decide to do something, do it. I think they think quite a lot before they do it, but when they do it, they go for it. The combination of curiosity, the willingness to extend yourself a little bit, and sometimes to make mistakes, all ends up with us being quite amazed. How do they get away with it?
Another of the cat's natural talents is the ability to hunt and take on other animals. But some just don't know where to draw the line. Take this tiny kitten standing up to a fully grown Rottweiler. That really is the world's worst guard dog. Here, a group of cats are bemused by a new addition to their gang. A stuffed and very much dead bobcat. One brave puss warily decides to check out the new cat on the block. He goes in for a closer look. And a sniff. Whatever it ate for a last meal, it seems 8 out of 10 cats do not prefer it. Here's another cat punching way above its weight by beating up a horse. Well, I guess that finally answers the why the long face question. But surely no cat will be brave enough or stupid enough to take on one of nature's most fearsome predators, would it? Well, actually it would. And not just one, but 2.
Whoa! My goodness! That's unbelievable! He's ready.
See you later, alligator!
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
Holy cow.
The one with the crocodile, I love, because that was just the mind power of a cat. Saying to a crocodile, I will have you. That's the crocodile looking at the cat, and the crocodile saying, no, I think that cat's a bit mad, I'm not going to do that.
Now, one thing that we all know to be true is that cats really don't like water, right? Well, prepare to have your socks blown off.
Well, traditionally, people think cats hate water. They run out of the rain, and if you ever have to bathe them, there's a huge protest, as any veterinary nurse can tell you. But in fact, there are plenty of cats that do like water.
And here are just some of the fearless felines who are proving that they love water. This puss is enjoying a nice warm bath so much, it doesn't want to get out. So it gets straight back in. And then does it again. Here's another chatty cat in a bath seeing if a meow works underwater. Yes, it does. And I'm sure the bods at Nobel will be adding that particular bit of research to their list. This moggy doesn't have time for a relaxing soak in the tub, so has a quick shower under the tap instead. I think she's ready for the conditioner. And this cat is upping the ante even further. That's right, he's just going for a casual swim in the ocean, as you do. And you can see what happened next in the forthcoming straight-to-DVD movie, Paws vs. Jaws. Oh, looks like the cat survives.
There are very few things we actually know about cats, but one of them is cats hate water. A cat swimming in the sea, a cat not wanting to get out of the bath, none of it makes any sense. It kind of tells us everything we know, not just about cats, but perhaps about life, is wrong.
And from one cat swimming with sharks to another who thinks he is one. This is Max, and when he met his owner Helen, things got a little bit crazy. Meet Shark Cat. This viral clip of a cat riding a Roomba, a robot vacuum cleaner, and dressed as a shark, has been viewed over 10 million times.
This is an example of a clip that, if alien life forms do come to the planet, I'd like them to think that is what we're like. Because I think that makes us look amazing. That this is just how we all live.
But we can reveal that it nearly never was, because the costume was originally meant for a dog, called Sharky. Well, makes sense, I suppose.
You ready?
It all started when Helen was getting set for Halloween at her home in Houston, Texas, where local custom requires pets to wear fancy dress for the festivities. Yeah, I know, but moving on.
I went to a store and I was looking for a shark costume for a dog, but their sizes didn't fit Sharky, so Max got it.
And it's a good thing he did. The extraordinary buzz over her shark cat clip has allowed Helen to take time out of raising chickens and turn her attentions to running a YouTube channel, which is doing very nicely, thank you very much.
People were like, oh, we want more shark cat. So I just did a update for all the fans somehow I got for the August Shark Week.
Yeah, did I mention in Texas they also have a Shark Week? I know. Anyway, let's have a look at that one.
When I uploaded Shark Cat chasing a duck, I thought it was pretty funny. You never know what goes crazy.
So far, there have been 7.5 million views for this one. Not too bad for a sequel, and Sharky the dog finally had his day too. You know what? I bet that floor never actually gets dirty with all that Roomba action. Still to come, we've got a real-life cat burglar. And the grumpy cat who has over 60 million reasons to smile. Tonight we're looking at the most popular videos on the internet, and as you've probably guessed from the title of the show, they all feature some crazy cats. And now for the educational bit. Did you know that cats only meow at humans and not at other cats? But they have developed other ways of communicating, like these two having a chat on a bed.
It's one of those exchanges where they're clearly discussing what they're going to do for the rest of the day. And, you know, one of them's saying, oh, I thought we'd just hang around the house, scratch the sofa a bit. You know, and the other one's going, that's what you always want to do. I thought we could go out, cause some havoc, chase some animals. The other one's going, oh, give me a break. We're cats. We're supposed to sit around all day.
Another pair are having a blazing row in the middle of the street. And after all that shouting, they finally decided to have trout for dinner. But some moggies are trying their best to communicate with people. This fella's lost his key and can't get in the house.
What?
Judging by the slurring, he must have been to the pub. The owner of this puss has asked if it's happy to be filmed. I'll take that as a no then.
No, 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 no.
And here comes another chatty cat. Hello. 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 Hi. Yes, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Yes. Oh, bye then. And it's not just their language skills they're keen to show off. Some moggies have even more outstanding talents.
I think sometimes when we see cats doing things that we do, it makes us go, oh, because they're doing human things. The thing is, they're not doing human actions. They're doing things they shouldn't be doing, which means that they are learning and growing and assimilating. They're just going to destroy us all. Our cat masters. Once they learn to use guns, we may as well just give up.
Well, thankfully, they haven't learned to use guns yet, but they have learned plenty of other things.
Sit. Up. Down. Down. Roll over. Roll over.
Very impressive.
There you go.
The owner of this cat has spent years teaching his pet how to play Jenga.
Yay! Good job. Well, it's my turn. Now you pick one. All right. I'm getting pretty good at this.
But like all modern moggies, he'd rather be on his PlayStation.
It was a sort of an intermediate Jenga player at best, I would say. I mean, he removed the block, yes, impressive, but please put it back on top of the Jenga pile or it simply doesn't count.
This kitty is a keen footballer. And they're even having it large on the decks. Although the younger generation of Catboy Slims need a bit more practice. And here's another musical moggy who's something of a meowstro. Oh, I'm sorry. Yup, this kitten on the keys is Nora, whose prowess on the piano has not only earned her 6 million views on YouTube and celebrity fans, but even a place in musical history. No, really. Nora's owner is Betsy Alexander, a piano teacher. And yes, she is from the US of America, but no, she's not daft enough to try to teach piano to a cat.
Cats learn by copying behavior. We were upstairs. We heard these repeated notes down here. We came down the stairs and there's Nora seated on the bench. Perfect posture, hands on the keys. From that day on, she just played every day.
Betsy had never even heard of YouTube when her students encouraged her to video Nora and share her moggy melodies with the rest of us. But when the clip went viral, Betsy found she had a world-famous pianist in her cat basket, one who even caught the eye of a classical composer 4,000 miles away in Lithuania, Mindaugas Pichaitis. We'll call him Mindy for short.
I was so surprised, that it's not just one tone or two, but there was lots of tones, and some kind of melodies.
In fact, Mindy was so impressed with Nora that he decided to compose an entire concerto based on the video.
I decided to write down every note she played to find out how can be created some line, some melody, some kind of musical piece.
Concerto had its world premiere in 2009 with Nora, well, a video of Nora, centre stage. You reckon for a piece of contemporary classical music featuring a cat playing the piano on video, this ain't too bad at all. The audience certainly liked it, and the Catcherto has even made it into the Guinness Book of Records, a record I figure isn't going to be broken anytime soon. Now, from copycat to glamourpuss, our feline friends have taken over the English language. But we're now going to find out just why one of the best-known cat-related phrases came into existence.
I think scaredy cat comes from two things. One is the initial startle position that cats adopt when they're surprised, and then the fact that they run.
And here are some real-life scaredy cats. They're freaking out about everything from flip-flops to balloons to printers metronomes and even their own kittens. But if there's one thing that gives these scaredy cats sleepless nights, it's the dun-dun-dun! Toaster? Really? A toaster? Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, very funny. The cat's surprised. It doesn't know the toast's coming out and then it gets scared. Hilarious, right? No, wrong. The cat knows exactly what's happening.
Oh my God.
And as for that backflip stuff, well rehearsed.
Now, they may rule the internet, but a cat worth £60 million? Well, that'd be ridiculous, right?
Grumpy Cat is an internet phenomenon that's now bled into the real world, if you will. It's a cat that looks really grumpy.
Yup, this moody moggy who shot to fame in a YouTube video on account of her scowl has now earned more than the average Hollywood A-lister. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Why, Ian, why? Tell them, Susan.
Now, what happened was the owners put pictures of Grumpy Cat on the internet and everyone went, that's a really grumpy-looking cat. And they would put hats on it and captions underneath it. And what's happened is it's become essentially the Miley Cyrus of the cat world.
And yes, this cat now has a Hollywood agent, a cat food deal, of course, and even her own brand of iced coffee. Oh, and a movie which hit TV screens in the UK at Christmas. Marvellous.
All we need is a picture of Grumpy saying something like, I had fun once, it was awful. I mean, you put that on the internet thingamabob and that is sure to go viral. Her face will launch 1,000 products, everything from t-shirts to coffee mugs. After that, TV appearances.
Anyway, the good news is that like all great things American, the celebrity supercat has found its way to British shores. Meet Bronte, our very own world-famous feline. And what's more, a cat with a talent. She sings. Well, sort of. Yep, this internet sensation is that rarest of beasts, the invention of an ad agency. In this case, for the mobile phone company, 3.
This is the sort of thing that ad agencies and big brands usually mess up. They've heard from their kids that funny cats are popular on the internet and have a huge audience, so they think, oh, why couldn't we make that up? But really, that misunderstands the essence of what makes this sort of thing popular.
Not this time, though. Now, Bronte's owner is Caroline Bailey Reid, who runs a small cat breeding business in the East Midlands.
Out of the blue, I got a phone call from a company. Didn't know who they were at the time. So they said, have you got any cats that we could use in an advert, but we don't want it to look real, but we want it to be real, so it was all very confusing.
Confused, but let's face it, rather chuffed, Caroline introduced them to a short-haired exotic named Bronte, and the rest is the stuff of showbiz legend. As training got underway, they even sent someone over from Disneyland. I mean, this is serious stuff, guys.
The idea was she was in the basket, but they wanted her to come up and put her paws and just sit with her little paws on the front.
It took weeks of hard work, but eventually Bronte was ready to face the cameras.
Bronte, good, kitty, good.
She just sat there. It was lovely.
And when filming started, Bronte quickly demonstrated her star quality on set. Within days of the ad being released, it had been viewed millions of times, and its four-legged star was now a major leaguer moggy.
She's got her Twitter and her Facebook and her Instagram. I was amazed at the amount of people that knew her and was recognising her, as if she was like Justin Bieber or One Direction.
Today, Bronte's older, wiser and a little richer. She may not have reached the dizzying heights of her grumpy American cousin, but she does have a lovely range of balloons. Coming up, Ninja Cats. And find out why this cat owner is doing this. Cat videos have set the internet alight, from chatty cats to talented tabbies.
Most popular cat videos are all about cats being stupid, undignified and inelegant. But once in a while, a popular cat video reminds us how awesome cats are. They are the ninjas of the animal world.
And here are just some of the things they learn at Ninja Ginger Tom School. Lesson 1, how to climb up a house. And number 2, how to climb down a fridge. Lesson 3, how to open a door. The art of deception and impersonation is lesson 4, like this cat pretending to be a dog. Until it sees a human. And of course, a range of disguises are a must for any wannabe ninja. With the basics nailed, it's on to martial arts, including attacking from behind, ambushing the enemy, striking first, and taking on a bigger opponent. And if all that fails, it's time to wheel out the Ninja Stare of Terror. But of all the skills these fearsome felines learn, just one is the most important: the art of stalking. Like this cat, who inches closer to its owner, but only when the human isn't looking.
This video is one of the greatest cat videos of all time for me, being a geek and a cat lover. It's a combination of Doctor Who and cat. In the episode called Blink, the weeping angels approach you if you close your eyes. And what this person has beautifully done is combine that. The person moves to the right, comes back, and the cat has almost imperceptibly moved forward and stopped absolutely dead. It's extraordinary. Until right at the end, there's just this beautiful little cat staring up at its owner. It encapsulates to me everything that I love.
And when they're not showing off their martial arts skills, cats love nothing more than getting cosy in a cardboard box.
Well, I think cats in boxes is interesting. Who is it that is filming the cat in this humiliating predicament, rather than actually helping the cat? It makes you think about the people behind the camera in all these videos. Why do they own cats? Do they own cats because they think they might enrich their lives and offer companionship in some way? Or do they own cats because they think, if I get lucky and this cat does something really, really stupid and I'm filming it when it happens, then this cat could be my winning lottery ticket?
And here are some of those videos hoping their numbers come up tonight.
There he goes, in reverse. Drunken reversing box-headed cat.
Is anyone going to help it, or are you just going to stand around and laugh?
Save him.
There you go!
Finally, the cat is free. But it's not just boxes they like to get into, but also bins. And more bins. And hamster balls.
There's something about cats that they enjoy kind of restricted spaces. I've had tiny little boxes that my cats have tried to get into, and they kind of spill over the top. It's like a puddle of cat, and they sit looking at me. It's kind of like if I tried to get into a size 8 suit and then looked at my friend and went, "What do you think?" You kind of have to go, "Oh yeah, that looks, yeah, fits great."
And they're getting into loads of other stuff too, including sleeves.
I know! Can you knock it out, Lucas?
Plant pots. And even suitcases. But it really is boxes they like the most, and it seems we like them too. This is Maru, who's an internet superstar, and when he's not busy diving at boxes, he's found time to write 2 books. Oh man, I've heard it all now. And this clip of kittens in a tissue box got over 16.5 million views. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what the inventor of the internet had in mind when he legged it down the patent office.
I think the best thing you can send a cat owner for their cat is just a box. It's the warmth, it's the enclosure, it's the feeling comfortable, just security, I suspect. But yeah, every cat loves boxes.
Now, cats, as we've seen, can be as cunning as they are cute. Something of an understatement when it comes to our next feisty feline, Dusty. No, don't be fooled by his lovable appearance, because, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at a hardened criminal.
Stealthy, quiet, opportunist.
We've got a real cat burglar here.
A cat burglar who's been prowling the streets of San Francisco for the past 6 years.
I would always get the newspaper in the morning, and as I did, I started noticing socks and stuff out there. I was trying to figure out why people would throw socks on our lawn. Gene was the one that figured out that it was actually Dusty bringing this stuff home.
We've gotten towels, shoes, underwear.
He's brought home a baseball mitt.
Balloons. He brought home a bag of balloons once.
One time he brought home a scuba flipper, lots of stuffed animals, lots of rubber balls, bathing suits.
And as time went on, this one cat crime wave took on increasingly ambitious jobs.
One morning there was 2 bags of like boats out in front. I weighed them, they're like a pound each. And I took them over to the neighbors, asked him if they were his. And he said they had been looking all morning for those.
Gene and Jim wanted proof, setting up CCTV cameras to be sure this wasn't a case of mistaken identity.
When he steals something in the videos, you could just see the determination. Even if it's big and bulky, he just doesn't seem to want to quit. He just keeps going.
To date, Dusty, who now goes by his alias Klepto Kitty, has stolen almost 1,000 items, and his owners are powerless to stop him.
We tried keeping him in actually for a little while, but he was so sad. He would meow and then he would sit by the doors and just bolt out whenever he could. So we figured we can't really keep him in all the time. We had to let him out.
But the good news is that, like so many internet stars, Dusty's delinquent behaviour has brought him worldwide fame. Who says crime doesn't pay? Although, obviously, it doesn't for any kids out there. Cats are widely known to be solitary animals. In fact, they'll often go out of their way to avoid crossing paths with other moggies. They don't even like cat statues. Or will simply refuse to wake up for another puss. But they do sometimes form unlikely friendships. With tortoises. And hedgehogs. Lizards. And even dolphins. But most of all, they really do love us humans. Especially when, like in this clip, they get over 70 million hits on the web. I hope the owner bought that kitten a lot of smoked salmon with the proceeds.
What's interesting about cats, for instance, you know, the cat using the tortoise as a mode of transport, it just underlines the fact that cats are lazy, selfish, but they also have a massive overriding sense of entitlement, you know. Cats think that everything else on God's earth is there to serve them, you know. They don't look at a tortoise and think, that's an interesting creature with just as much right to live as me. They think, oh, this is a mode of transport that has been provided for me, probably by my human owners.
And here's another cat who can't be bothered to use its legs. This is Morgan James, who lives in Beaumont, Texas, and the footage he posted of his cat Simon refusing to go for a walk became a cyber smash hit, getting over 2 million views. And whilst most found the disobedient Moggy hilarious, it also sparked an online backlash from concerned cat lovers. It all started in early 2014, when Morgan decided his apartment-bound cats should get some exercise.
I wouldn't consider walking cats a normal thing. Obviously, the notion is that you walk dogs, but I've heard lots of stories of people successfully walking their cats and their cats loving it, but Simon's just got that personality where he's stubborn.
Cats cannot be convinced or cajoled into anything, particularly physical exercise. Cats choose to spend most of their time being idle and sleeping. When they want to engage in activity, they do it on their own terms, in their own way. And that is why there is something absolutely absurd about the idea of cat leashes. You cannot take a cat for a walk.
I guess Simon decided that he wasn't going to walk. Then that's when he kind of just balled up and fell over and was like, all right, well, if you're not going to let me go where I want to go, then you're going to have to drag me. We were just like, Simon, come on, what are you doing? We were laughing a little bit because he just had that look on his face. So I was kind of giving him gentle tugs to see if he was going to get up or not. And, you know, he's just being an absolute diva.
So, as all people do in the 21st century when they've captured something amusing on their phone, Morgan posted the video on a well-known video sharing site, where the comments soon came flooding in.
When I first started getting popularity on YouTube, there were a variety of comments. The majority of them were overwhelmingly positive, but there were a few of them where people would express displeasure, say that I was hurting my cats or that I shouldn't do that to my cats. A lot of people seem to just assume that Simon's leash was just a leash on a collar, so that it was dragging him by the neck rather than being like his whole body, which in actuality he wasn't. So I think that was the biggest thing that discomforted me whenever I would read negative comments.
It was at this point Morgan decided to respond to the critics by recreating the video with him playing the part of the cat.
I think the fans seemed like they thought it was a pretty clever tongue-in-cheek way of saying, here's me walking a mile in salmon shoes.
Cats in shoes? Surely that should be Puss in Boots. Oh, who writes this stuff?
I think for cats that live permanently indoors, if they got used to wearing the harness and walking on the leash and enjoy going out, it can be a very essential thing to do, to keep them exercised, to keep them stimulated. But if they don't like it and they're terrified by it, play with them indoors.
Still to come, cats get sporty and show their owners who really rules the roost. Tonight we've seen how cats are showing off their talents to the world, from DJing to talking. And now they're attempting to conquer the world of sport in an item we like to call the Paralympics. This fella is competing in the Beat Yourself Up boxing competition. Might need to work on his footwork. Here we have the Try to Catch the Windscreen Wiper semi-final. I'm sure he'd have done much better if he'd been outside the car. Just like this chap. Oh, he was so close to taking the title. This puss is hoping for a medal in the dressage. I'd give that a 7.5. This is the Hang On to the Mop for Dear Life event. Ah, it seems it's the doubles. In the Stay on the Treadmill as Long as You Can-a-thon, it looks like there's a clear winner. And here we have the traditional sport of cat curling. And he looks like he's having the time of his life. We're staying with winter sports where it really is cool for cats on the ice rink. I think you'll agree there are some wonderful moves on display here. Across town in the gymnastics hall, it's the inaugural Try to Walk in a Straight Line after being anaesthetised at the vets competition. This chap has high hopes. And then gives up. And in the feline football, there are some great dribbling skills on show. Just look how the balloon never leaves his feet. And sport wouldn't be the same without the spectators. This lot were treated to a thrilling match in the tabby tennis. New balls of wool, please.
I could watch them all day. In fact, they should be invited to Wimbledon Centre Court and no one would watch the match. They would just watch these kittens watching the tennis all day. They are the sweetest little puddings in the entire world. That's the kind of clip that makes me go,
Of course, cat clips on the internet aren't just there for our entertainment, but they're also there for our education. Like this man, who's on a mission to teach our kitties something truly revolutionary.
Today we're going to be going over how to train your cat to use the toilet.
You what?
How to train your cat to use the toilet. We all know that if you own a cat, it's wonderful that they know how to use the bathroom in the same area, but how embarrassing is it when your guests come over and that foul odor is just pouring out of that litter box?
This is baffling on so many levels. Right, first of all, I don't want to... I mean, no one likes a cat litter tray around the house. I get that, right? But first of all, once the cat is past early kittenhood, then, it should be going out in the garden anyway, so it shouldn't be an issue.
There are 3 stages to the process. In the red stage, your cat will learn where his new litter box is and to jump up on the toilet. After a few successful tries, make sure you congratulate them or reward them with a treat. It's time to move on to the orange stage. Place litter on the edges for your cat. The primary goal here is for them to learn to balance themselves over the hole. Once your cat has mastered the second stage, go ahead and switch to the green stage. Here, the goal is to rid use of the litter completely and to master their balancing. After several weeks of perfecting pottying, you will begin to try removing the system and putting the seat down. Congratulations, you successfully taught your cat how to use a human toilet.
I love my cat, but if I need to go, I'm not going to accept my cat sat there on the toilet, reading a copy of The Sun, saying, sorry, I'll just be another 5 minutes.
Your friends and family are going to be so impressed that your cat knows how to use the bathroom in the toilet.
This guy assures you that once you have trained your cat to sit on the toilet like a human and do its business in there, then your family and friends will be extremely impressed. No, they won't. They won't be impressed. They'll be very worried and stage an intervention on you, and rightly so.
And it's not only the bathroom they're taking over. Here are more of our furry friends who are ruling the roost. These cats have found novel ways to wake up their owners. Unfortunately, I don't think kitties have a snooze button.
The cat's worked out that by pinging this door stopper, it makes one of the most irritating noises in the world. The clip is brilliant because that's a deliberate action by the cat. Sometimes the cat pulls it straight back, so it makes a noise for a long time. Sometimes it goes like this. Essentially, to make it as irritating as is humanly possible.
But when it's time for them to have a catnap, they have their favourite spot, which is usually the dog bed, much to Rover's dismay.
You guys are mixed up. You go there. Go there. You have plenty of bed over there.
And if Pooch tries to push things, it soon becomes clear who's top cat.
Come out of your bed. Come out of your bed. No.
You gonna give up?
But this pampered puss has gone one better and even has its own bedroom, which is not weird in the slightest. And even when they're not stealing our dogs' beds, they're giving them a hard time by just being there. Like this lot who are turning man's best friends into gibbering wrecks.
Your kitty cat's not gonna hurt you.
Let's get rid of that kitty cat. Come on.
Shouldn't get you trapped.
I think that shows who's really in charge. So there you have it. Proof the world really does love cats, especially when they're kind enough to do something hilarious in front of a camera.
I will often while away a Sunday afternoon just in the simple pleasure of watching a cat slip off a car roof.
By living so closely with cats, we're seeing much more of them. And, you know, like everything else these days, we want to share it on social media and say, look at my cat's unusual, my cat's different.
I'm pretty sure the person that invented the internet had no idea that the real purpose of the internet was for cat videos.